What I'm about to share with you has the potential to transform the way you understand women, connect with them, and ultimately succeed in creating meaningful, lasting relationships. This isn't about tactics or manipulation. It's about uncovering a deeper emotional truth, one that most men have never been taught, and that many women aren't even fully aware of themselves. For years, I've studied human behavior, relationship psychology, and gender dynamics. And one thing has become incredibly clear. There's often a significant disconnect between what women say they want in a relationship and what actually draws them in on a deeper level. This isn't because women are being deceptive or secretive, it's because their internal experience of attraction often starts at an emotional level, not a logical one. And once you understand this, everything changes. Here's the truth. Women, like all of us, are emotional beings. But where men are often conditioned to lead with logic and reason, women tend to make emotional decisions first and then use logic to make sense of those feelings after the fact. It's not a flaw. It's not irrational. In fact, it's part of the powerful design of the female brain, which is often more attuned to subtle emotional cues, interpersonal dynamics, and relational energy. When a woman says, "I don't know why, but there's just something about him," that's not confusion, it's emotional resonance. Her heart speaks first, and her mind follows. She might say she's drawn to his sense of humor, his confidence, or the way he treats animals. But those are often explanations her brain creates to rationalize a deeper, felt experience that began long before logic stepped in. And here's something that might surprise you: many women feel vulnerable admitting this. We live in a culture that encourages women to be practical, to choose partners who are stable, successful, and responsible. So when attraction happens in a way that defies logic, it can feel uncomfortable or even embarrassing to admit. That's why you'll rarely hear a woman say, "I don't know, I just feel it." Instead, she'll tell you about the qualities that seem to make sense. But those qualities are often the justification, not the origin of her attraction. So what does this mean for you? It means that if you've been trying to logically convince a woman to choose you by listing your achievements, showing how responsible or stable you are, or talking about your 5-year plan, you might be missing a point. All of that has value. But those things don't spark the initial flame of attraction. They validate it after the fact. What sparks attraction is how you make her feel. Emotional experience is the gateway. If you want to connect with a woman deeply and authentically, focus on creating emotional resonance. Be present, be playful, be bold, be real. Create experiences that move her emotionally, whether that's laughter, curiosity, excitement, or even mystery. What matters is not just the type of emotion, but the fact that she's feeling something meaningful with you. This is also why the so-called nice guy approach often doesn't work the way men expect. Being kind, respectful, and reliable are beautiful qualities, but if they're not paired with emotional connection, they can come across as flat or uninspiring. Meanwhile, the man who isn't traditionally perfect but who makes her feel something often becomes the one she can't stop thinking about. It's not because she's choosing poorly. It's because her emotional brain responds to energy, presence, and impact. So let's get practical. There are 3 emotional states that consistently create and sustain female attraction. Once you understand these and how to genuinely cultivate them, your relationships and the way women respond to you will begin to shift in powerful and lasting ways. Let's break down the 3 emotional states that drive female attraction. Understanding these doesn't just improve your dating life. It transforms how you relate to women on every level. First, uncertainty and challenge. Women are drawn to depth and complexity not because they want confusion, but because they want to feel emotionally engaged. When a man is too available, too predictable, or too eager to please, it may feel safe, but it doesn't spark that essential intrigue that keeps her interest alive. Now, this isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about having a rich life that doesn't revolve around her. It's about being authentically busy with goals, passions, and values that matter to you. It's being someone who she can't fully figure out in one conversation. Emotional depth doesn't mean hiding who you are, it means being multidimensional. That's what creates the kind of dynamic that feels real and captivating. Second, emotional stimulation. Women, in general, are emotionally attuned and crave emotional variety, not chaos or drama, but richness and intensity. They want to feel alive with you. That might look like laughing together one moment, having a deep heart-to-heart the next, and sharing playful banter after that. It's not about putting on a performance, it's about being emotionally present and responsive. Most men stay in one or two emotional lanes, polite, predictable, or overly impressive. But attraction grows when she feels like she can experience the full range of life with you: joy, depth, surprise, connection. Women want to feel like you're emotionally agile enough to meet them there. Third, security within excitement. This is the paradox that confuses so many men. How can a woman want both thrill and stability? The answer is she doesn't want one or the other. She wants both. She wants the man who makes her feel butterflies and also someone she can count on. The key is not choosing between being exciting and being reliable. The key is embodying both. Be spontaneous in your actions, adventurous in your mindset, but grounded in your character. When your word matters, when your actions align with your values, she can relax into the excitement because she feels emotionally safe. That's where real connection and attraction thrive. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest hidden disconnects in male-female communication, the conversation dynamic that either builds deep intimacy or slowly erodes connection. When a woman shares her struggles, her stress, or a tough day at work, she's not always looking for answers. In fact, she's often not looking for a solution at all. She's seeking emotional presence. She wants to feel seen, heard, and emotionally validated. But here's what often happens. A man hears a problem and instinctively tries to fix it. 3 solutions later, she's frustrated and he's confused. The breakdown isn't about logic, it's about emotional misalignment. The truth is, for many women, talking is how they process emotion. It's how they feel connected and understood. So when she's opening up to you, what she's really saying is, "Can you meet me here? Can you feel this with me?" And when you respond with empathy and understanding, saying things like, "That sounds incredibly frustrating," or "I can see why that would upset you," or even just, "How are you feeling about all this?" You're creating a powerful emotional bond. Once she feels safe and heard, she might ask for advice. But connection always comes before correction. Finally, let's look at the attraction timeline because many men misread this and unknowingly sabotage promising connections. Women experience attraction as a process, not an on-off switch. And they rarely explain this timeline because it feels intuitive to them. But for many men, it's not. So here's what you need to understand. Phase 1 is the initial impression, happening within the first 30 seconds to 3 minutes. During this stage, she's not assessing your resume, she's sensing your presence, your energy, and your confidence. Do you feel grounded in yourself? Do you carry the kind of calm charisma that suggests something interesting is about to happen? This first impression is largely subconscious, but incredibly powerful. Phase 2 is emotional evaluation. This unfolds during the first few conversations or early interactions. Now she's asking, what does it feel like to be around him? Is he emotionally engaging? Is he curious? Does he make her feel alive, seen, attractive, or stimulated in some way? These questions aren't intellectual, they're emotional. And how she answers them determines whether attraction deepens or fades. It's not about impressing her. It's about creating an emotional space where she feels something meaningful with you. When you understand this emotional progression and stop trying to shortcut it with logic, you unlock a whole new level of connection. Attraction isn't something you force. It's something you invite. And when you lead with authenticity, emotional intelligence, and grounded presence, you become someone she doesn't just notice, you become someone she feels. Now, let's talk about the third phase of the attraction timeline, logical assessment. This is the point where emotional attraction has already taken root, and now her logical mind begins to fully engage. This is when she starts asking herself deeper questions. Are we truly compatible? Do we share values, goals, and communication styles? Is this someone I can trust long term? But here's the key: she only reaches this phase if the emotional groundwork has already been laid. Many men try to start here. They lead with details about their job, their stability, their relationship goals, valuable things, yes. But they land flat if the emotional foundation isn't in place yet. It's like trying to teach calculus to someone who hasn't yet learned basic math. She has to feel before she can evaluate. Now, let's go deeper into the biggest mistakes men make when they don't understand how attraction actually works. Mistake number 1 is over-explaining and over-qualifying. When you sense a woman pulling back or seeming uncertain, your instinct may be to convince her by listing your good traits, sharing your plans, or proving your worth. But attraction isn't built on a checklist. It's emotional. Over-explaining doesn't reassure, it signals insecurity and disrupts the emotional connection you were building. Mistake number 2 is treating all women the same. Attraction is not one size fits all. Men often create a strategy that may have worked with one person and then apply it universally. But emotional connection is personal. What resonates deeply with one woman might fall completely flat with another. The key is emotional attunement, treating the specific person in front of you and responding with presence and sincerity, not generic tactics. Mistake number 3 is assuming attraction is permanent. Many men believe attraction is binary: either it's there or it's not. But female attraction is like a flame. It needs to be nurtured. It can grow brighter or it can fade, depending on your ongoing presence and behavior. Just because a woman is drawn to you today doesn't mean that connection will remain if the emotional depth isn't maintained. Mistake number 4 is neglecting emotional maintenance. A lot of men fall into this pattern. They work hard to attract her. Then once she's in a relationship with them, they switch into provider mode. They focus on showing love through stability, hard work, and practical support, all of which are important, but they stop creating emotional moments. Women need to feel ongoing connection, variety, and engagement to sustain desire. Actions are powerful, but emotional presence is irreplaceable. Now, let's explore something that's rarely talked about: the advanced psychology behind why women test men. Yes, women test, but not because they're manipulative or playing games. These tests are usually subconscious. They're emotional check-ins to assess your strength, your consistency, and your ability to stay grounded in moments of challenge. When she cancels plans last minute, she may not be flaking, she might be watching how you respond to disappointment. If she brings up another man in conversation, she may not be trying to provoke jealousy, she might be subtly reading your confidence. If she becomes emotional or reactive, she's not necessarily being dramatic, she could be testing whether you can stay present with her emotional range without retreating or trying to control the moment. The men who pass these tests aren't passing because they studied tactics. They're passing because they're grounded in who they are. They don't get defensive. They don't try to fix her feelings. They don't panic. They respond from a place of calm, emotional maturity, and authenticity, and that's what creates long-term respect and connection. So what's the ultimate secret, the thing women deeply want men to know, even if they don't say it out loud? Here it is. While women may not want these insights discussed openly at a subconscious level, they long to be understood in this way. They want a man who doesn't need a manual, who just gets it. They want someone who understands the emotional rhythm of relationships without needing it explained step by step. They want someone who can lead emotionally, not manipulate. Someone who can hold space for both strength and softness. Someone who can offer excitement without chaos and stability without boredom. They want to be seen for all they are: emotional and logical, powerful and vulnerable, independent and deeply connected. And here's the part that matters most: how you use this knowledge. Because this isn't about manipulation. This isn't about using psychological insight to get your way. This is about becoming a man who connects authentically, who leads with emotional intelligence, and who builds trust through presence. Don't use this knowledge to fake attraction. Use it to cultivate yourself into someone who naturally inspires it, because you're grounded, aware, and genuinely interested in understanding the women you relate to. Let your confidence come from self-knowledge, not control. Let your connection come from sincerity, not strategy. If this video helped open your eyes to a new way of seeing female psychology and relationship dynamics, make sure to like and subscribe for more grounded, honest insights. This channel is here to help you move beyond surface-level advice and build real emotional fluency. Because the goal isn't to manipulate attraction. The goal is to deserve it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.